Spookulous Axum here, the internet's busiest movie nerd, and today we're talking about ghosts. Two Little Ghosts is a 2022 feature film directed by Jordan Ross from Doomed Productions. Now, Jordan loves Halloween and the real magic that surrounds it, and I believe this was his second Halloween-themed feature film, and there's one coming out this month, I think. But the first one was called October. It was a sort of 80s throwback adventure film on a smaller scale which concerned spooky goings-on in the month of October. But now Two Little Ghosts is a more mature film than that. Not that there's anything wrong with adventure, but he's a filmmaker who's constantly evolving and experimenting. Now this one covers quite heavy themes such as identity and grief, but don't switch off just yet. It's not all grim like that one where she eats the pie and pukes up everywhere. There's still a lot of fun to be had along the way. It follows a young office worker who loves Halloween so much that he decides to dress as a ghost every day, forever. Despite his mother and other random passers-by constantly telling him to take his ghost costume off, he persists until things start to look up for him when he meets another girl who also dresses like a ghost, and Halloween is changed forever. Like I said, it is a very sweet film, filled with heart, which gets playful with the medium, in very effective ways. When it pulls you down, it really pulls you down, and when it lifts you up, it's up to high. It feels to me like a Talking Heads album. Let me explain. Talking Heads are my favourite band because they often experimented and they did strange things with rhythm. They experimented with new technologies. They took influences from music way outside the sort of pop sphere that they were occupying in. They worked with Brian Eno, who's constantly experimenting and innovating. And when artists do things like that, it tends to make the art very highbrow, and it's something that you will appreciate rather than enjoy. But Talking Heads, like one of their strangest songs, Once in a Lifetime, is also their biggest hit. What I'm saying is Two Little Ghosts reminds me of a Talking Heads album because it experiments, and there's a whole section where there's no sound in it, which is a strange thing to do, but it works and it doesn't become highbrow. It still remains accessible. Like it's somewhere between Once in a Lifetime and Road to Nowhere. And you can see the influences of experimental filmmakers like Maya Deren in there. But the reason it works, the reason that it's still accessible is because it's those methods have been utilised for a reason, and they work and they're effective. They're not just a reference, which a lesser filmmaker would do. They'd just say, oh, look, I've seen 2001: A Space Odyssey. But no, this is taking something, passing it through your own sensibilities, and then creating something new and effective with it, which is what David Byrne's been doing his entire career, and what Jordan Ross has done with this film. So, Two Little Ghosts, a quirky, romantic Halloween film which really tugs at the heartstrings, with fantastically effective experimental filmmaking techniques. If you like films like Eagle vs. Shark or Monster House, then you'll like this. And it's available to watch for free on YouTube. We are IndieMDB for everything indie.